Dan here, DD Speed Shop. So I've managed to crank a few people up on the internet, that's unlike me, about this 1967 Camaro. Man, it's terrible weather today. It's like a break in the rain, so we're gonna try and get through it. So I had said that I don't fit in this thing comfortably, and a lot of people took that as it's undrivable, unusable, all those things, which it's not. It's just not what I want. Now, if this was an automatic, I think it'd be a lot easier, all that sort of stuff. And people kept saying, well, if you have a Nova, how can you not fit in a Camaro? And I was the same way, assuming that Camaros and Novas were the same. After owning both and doing a little bit of research, after I spent a few paychecks on this one, I've learned there are some subtle differences. Now, this car is just clear the air here. Absolutely still drivable. I could do all sorts of things, make different brackets, buy different seats, take the back seat out of it, all those things. But ultimately, when I sat in the thing with me and Danielle in it, it is not as comfortable as if we sit in this car. If you know what I've learned, if you're not comfy in a car, you're probably not going to enjoy it. So that's why that's why it's for sale. We'll see if it actually does sell. I'm not giving it away. It is a good car. And realistically, if we can't get a decent number for it, small block automatic and drive it as it is, and it'll be a cool car. But there you have it. The other thing is, we have the idea of keepers. So there's a Nomad on the street, there's a Nomad in the garage. We have this car, which has a lot of sentimental value to myself. And Danny's 57, my 55. We still have that Ford truck. I mean, those are all keepers. Plus we have tow truck, Danny's Caprice. Like you think, oh, just keep a few cars. You get to 8 cars before you know what happened. We still have some builders, we still have all sorts of things. Anyways, that's beside the point. What I wanted to do was kind of show the differences, which I have found out, or at least I think I have found out. I don't even know if they're true or not. Because again, I thought that the Nova and a Camaro were identical cars other than just having a different body. Upon sitting in them, that ain't the case. So the first right off the bat, which I noticed, the Camaro has a square transmission tunnel, and you really feel like you're sitting down in it. Like, look how high the tunnel is versus the seat, right? Oh, sorry. So you're sitting down in the car, just fine. Just a slight difference versus the Nova, which basically just feels like any other, whatever, a Chevelle type thing. It has a round tunnel. It's not as crazy. You're not sitting down as much in it. So that was the first thing I noticed, which is fine. I also Googled it after the fact, and it said that the wheelbase of a Nova was a few inches longer. Can you hold this right on the center there? So center to center, we're, what is that, 108-ish inches? And I'll do the same thing over here. Now this diff might not be in there, it's dead straight. And this one here is 111-ish. So 9, 10, 11. So 3 inches. Let me just do the math there. 3 inches. So right there, right off the bat, when you have 3 inches difference in a wheelbase, that's going to translate to a bigger body car. So 3 inches doesn't sound like much, ladies, but when it's all in legroom, that makes a big difference. I mean, it's like moving the seat 3 inches further back.
It's all about how you use your inches.
Yes, I'm not very good with using it. That's why we just have to go full size. So right there, 3 inches different. The seat could be 3 inches further back in my mind. The other thing which you kind of can see now, they're side by side, the Camaro, you see how the roof really kind of curves in? Whereas a Nova is more boxy. Maybe it's just wider altogether. I'm not really too sure. Let's do.
I was gonna say you should have to just measure from like the window to top there.
Well, we'll do a few measurements. So from the center of the fender, the center of the fender is 65 inches. Let's just see what this one is, if it's any different or not. Now these are not precise measurements by any means. Right in the center, 64 and a half, 64 and a quarter. So I don't know. That might just be how we measured it. Slightly narrower. But I think the roof, can you go, you see where it kind of just starts to curve down? Yeah, we'll do that to that, because that'll be too So we're 49 inches. The Nova is round. So just kind of go from, yeah, somewhere like that.
From the trim?
Well, no, we gotta do a kind of same-ish measurement on what we can do there. Because we did just a little bit in. So that's 50 and a half maybe. So I noticed when I was sitting in there, it felt, you can let it go, much wider. I guess we can just do door to door. That'd be something. So this is, I mean, a bit of a geek video here for sure, but if you're considering buying a, so we're exactly 5 foot from glass to glass. We'll do the same thing over here. This car just felt way wider, I gotta say. So this is another half inch, maybe an inch wider. So not as much as I was thinking, but definitely 3 inches or longer. So I don't know if it's a longer car, bigger car, or what, or maybe it's just the way it's shaped. I mean, when you look at the Camaro, it definitely.
Well, this looks much more square than that does.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I like Novas. I gotta say, a Camaro is a prettier car. There's no bones about it in my mind. This definitely looks like it's got a lot of, I mean, 67 kind of Chevelle front end or like a Impala style thing. It's all shrunk down and looking kind of good. So I think from the firewall forward, they must be very similar because obviously the subframes supposedly are the exact same, but the difference is in the back. I don't know if the trunks are any different or not, but that's that. So with that being said, those are the reasons I am picking a Nova. So
people also had some good points. A lot of tall, other huskier gentlemen commented and were in your defense talked about how like where you carry your height. Like you got a lot of leg.
I got long legs. Now, I mean, again, so I can fit in this car, I can drive the car, we can do everything in the car, it would be just fine, but it just wouldn't be overly comfortable to drive.
Going on a long trip.
I don't think it'd be great in a long trip. I mean, the back seat, like this one here has a cage in it, but the seat's all the way back and you can still fit in there. What I want to do on this one actually is take this center bar out and put a curve bar in, and then I can put my seat even further back. Because this one, while driving it, was better than that was, and I still think there's more room to go further back.
Well, one of the other things, so a lot of people just kept saying, well, just take out the seat. It's the wrong seat anyways, the back seat.
Yes.
The problem is, so say you were to go on any kind of longer trip, you don't have anywhere to put your stuff.
So we're 3 foot there from the sill. I don't know if this measurement means anything or not. This one felt much lower sitting in it. Again, could be just the way it is. Yeah, a little bit, about the same. I don't know. I mean, the people gave me attitude about the brackets. I have it, if you watch the video, it's on the ground now. There is a whole bracketry piece that bolts or welds onto the floor. You probably could have taken that off and dropped it down even further. But just from a level of comfort, I get it. This car doesn't have the proper steering wheel. It doesn't have the proper seats. Doesn't have a lot of proper things. And so be it. I just didn't enjoy it when I was sitting in it. A lot of people said, why didn't you sit in the car before you bought one? Yeah, probably should have. I don't have any friends with Camaros or Firebirds I could have sat in. And I was under the impression that I have a Nova, a 4-speed Nova that I fit in and I can drive and it's not a big deal. So my head was telling me, the same as the internet, it should be the same as this. So I don't think a Nova is necessarily a whole bunch bigger, but a couple inches here, a couple inches there sure adds up. And I gotta say, I think the wheelbase being a big one, and then just not sitting as deep in the car. I mean, I don't know. That's the other thing, which is the door opening's the same, but I feel like you're sitting on the ground in that one. This one, it just feels like a regular car. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's the windshield's slanted back or taller or whatever it is. But I think the big difference is obviously sedan to a coupe. So there you have it. Not that that's a video anybody really wanted, I guess, but maybe that information is out there. They weigh virtually the same. Are you asking a question there?
No, it's just...
They weigh virtually the same. I mean, everything else is the same. I can't see it being a big difference. So the drive line, I said drive line, people lost it, because the drive line's the drive shaft. So the motor, the transmission, the engine, whatever it's called when it's not electric, and the 12 bolt, we're gonna bolt into this thing. It'll be a cool car and kind of go from there. People are saying, it's just a junk Nova. This is a legitimate SS car, where this was a 6-cylinder. In my mind, that's a nicer car.
Well, and does this one have more original parts than this one?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I mean, it's got the trim and all that, which is kind of whatever. It is what it is. Ultimately, here's the other thing. It's what I want to do. It's what I like. I want to drive this car every day. I want to have this as part of the fleet as a regular driver. People have been giving attitude non-stop about how I have these cars and I never finish them or I never drive them or whatever it may be. So I think, okay, I'm going to start taking the best of my parts and start putting them together. So the black Nova, or Nomad, sorry, it's pretty well dialed. That blue car is really good. This is next on the list. Put all my good parts in it, give it a once over. I've ordered the vinyl top for it, which people are losing their mind over, but I like to try that out and see if I enjoy it or not. Put that all together, kind of have it as a ratty driver to start. We can always paint it at any time. And then we'll have 3 really reliable, well done cars. Danny's car is pretty good as well. So I was like, okay, this one will probably sit. I can only imagine. So the other half of the internet that I'm not pissing off right now would be pissed off if this thing sat in the gravel storage unit and just collected dust. So I've learned you can't please the internet, so not that I'm trying to. Ultimately, it is my car, and this is what I want to drive. This is what I want to spend my money in. This is what I enjoy to do this year.
Well, and look at the Cobra. The Cobra is fun for like 3 days.
Well, the Cobra, so I've learned a lot. So I have a little Cobra kit car. It's very tiny. Last year we took the seat out. I did a bunch of things to fit it better, and it's not bad, but it's not comfortable. And, you know, I've gotten to the age now where, yes, it's cool having the coolest car in the parking lot, maybe. If these were parked side by side, I'm probably on your guys' side. I would say this is a cooler car.
See, and I disagree with that.
It is what it is. But when it comes to what you want to drive every single day, sometimes you need the Skechers shoes. You can't always have the cowboy boots. Who are we kidding? We wear cowboy boots till we bleed. So don't take any of my advice. This is just the way my brain is working today, and you know what? I might put it all together and go, I don't like this. Let's pull the motor out of this and put it in that. And that's what we'll end up doing, because nothing has to make sense around DD Speed Shop here. Speaking
of not making sense, a lot of people are very confused about the video orders.
So the video order, yes. I don't even know what's happening there. What was happening was I was going to build this car. I thought everything was going good. I put the seat in it, and I was like, hate it. So I was like, well, that's not really the good plan. Buddy Adam came over and he says, why don't you just switch the motor to this thing? I said, great. So we go get this car. And that's just kind of what happened. So we're trying to do these daily videos. And when you do daily videos, it's very difficult to keep things kind of perfectly seamless and all that.
Especially when you have a few different projects, you're getting certain stuff ready to sell. So like in a full day, we might do like actually 3 big things.
Yeah.
But we don't do like big long videos. We
so
break it up.
We're selling cars. Again, we're trying to buy some property here. People are losing their mind about that. That's keep all the cars. I've been hearing for however many years, buy more property, a bigger shop. So I have to sell cars to do that. And now I'm hearing, you shouldn't sell any of the cars. It's hilarious. So it is what it is. I can't complain. Ultimately, this video is just kind of about these 2 cars and the way it's going to go. So hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully that clears the air a little bit as to what's happening in the channel here. This is going to be going in the garage right away now. This motor's been pulled, everything ready to go. I'm hoping on this weekend, well, you know, if it's rainy or not, whatever. We got a nice long weekend coming up. I should be able to have the motor, trans, rear end swapped in this thing and ultimately drive it kind of as it is. I gotta say, I know I said I wanted to paint it, but the more that time goes on, I kind of like that it's just a ratty car. I don't really want to paint it. Today was an eye-opener with the hail and stuff like that. We only have 2
garages. You were all panicking. You're like, what, is the blue Nomad in the garage? Is the Camaro in the garage? And then what happens if one of them is out of the garage? You gotta switch everything around again.
The life I lead. It's a very privileged thing to say as to which hot rod gets protected from the hail. So in this case, it was the Camaro and the blue Nomad. Everything else sat outside. But such is life. So there you are, 2 cars, Camaro versus Nova. The Nova's winning this battle. If I can get money for this one, great. If not, it will go to storage. It's not... I'm not dying for it. We sold a few cars already. Life's been going pretty good. Doing the daily videos is making a big difference as well, and I really can't complain. So thank you so much for watching. As always, please subscribe below if you wouldn't mind. Feel free to leave a comment. We read every second one. And I don't know, buy yourself a Nova. Or if you're a big guy, you want to tell me you're 6'8", 685 pounds, but you fit in your first gen Nova, buy it, make a video, prove me wrong. I'll probably watch it.